global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happiness today. Peter Obi has been in everybody's lips, but all of them kept on saying one thing. He knows his onions, whether those in opposition or not, even when they try to throw dirty, muddy water over him, but they cannot deny the fact that he knows his onions. For some of us who do not understand what is going on, right now it is politicking period and Peter Obi is the center stage of it all. The likes of Octogenarian and he's an ex-minister. That's Amb Wali. He said something very striking, and he's a strong PDP stakeholder. He spoke a lot about Peter Obi, how though Peter Obi may be wonderful, fantastic, but he can never put his faith in him, and he has his reasons. In fact, he talked about Ipob, he talked about Nnamdi Kanu, he talked about a lot of things, some sinister moves going on. He didn't end there. He also talked about the fact that Peter Obi, they may have one or two votes, but they would definitely inculcate him into PDP, because he's still a part and parcel of Nigeria, and they have the intention of making him occupy a seat when they get into the seat of power. It didn't also end there. He also went further to tell Nigerians that forget about this issue of it is the time for the South, that it is still the time for the North to rule. You're going to find out a set of all this interview. Remember, that's his opinion. You have yours as well. Let's go straight into the news. Before we do that, kindly subscribe to our channel. They asked him some questions, a set of the interview. This is what he said and the questions asked. The first question was, but the ordinary Nigerian on the street expect that if the North has tasted power, let it go to the next region after 8 years for the sake of balance. This was this response. He said, we are not quarreling about that. I asked you a question. In the 16 years that PDP has ruled, how many years has the North been in power? Out of the 16 years of PDP's rule, how many years were ruled by a northerner? You cannot come and lump me up with Buhari and his criminals and say that you people have ruled. After all of us in the PDP, we suffered. The North did not gain anything. The North is in turmoil. I could have expected that Southerners would say, okay, this guy has badly messed things up. They messed them up. Let's get some cool-headed person among them too to sanitize that side of the country. With the atrocities that my people went through under APC, you can't come and tell me, no. It's still the turn. They still believe that not still lumping it with APC is wrong. That for PDP, it is the turn of the North. Okay, but then I asked him, still on PDP, what exactly led to Peter Obi to leave PDP? He answered, said, I really don't know. I'm being honest with you. Peter Obi is a very decent person. I like him. And I remember telling Doyin Okunpe that was before Peter left. So I told him that I have listened to Peter and I have known him for some time. He's one of the best materials that we have. But unfortunately, where he is coming from, we have a problem. If the leadership of Igbo, cannot contain this IPOB and the rascal called Kano, how can I take my faith and give it to someone from there? Well, I can't take my faith and my people's faith and give it to people that cannot be able to put the house in order. Then I asked him, but we have Boko Haram in the north, and yet Nigerians took their faith and gave to a northerner. How can the people in the east take their faith and give to Atiku? He said, yes, we have Boko Haram and bandits too. We have all those, he answered. But we have to look at the underlying situation that brought about IPOB and that brought these other people. This is important. The Boko Haram, the ISWAP, they are all imported. This is as a result of the revolution in Libya. We can trace all these problems to Libya. When it's backed off, it affected the Sahel region, and eventually affected Nigeria. Yes, we have a problem. It is not people like me and you in the north that are involved. We are still able to control that responsible people. They are not part of these atrocities. But in southeast, how somebody like Kanu gives orders that there is no work on Mondays, and with all the paraphernalia of power in all the states in the southeast, they cannot contain that situation? Then I went back and said, let's go back to your impression of Peter Obi. He said Peter Obi is somebody, as I was telling Donny about 6 weeks ago, I said that even if Peter Obi did not become the vice president of this country, from what I know of Peter Obi's capacity, whatever government that comes, if it is the PDP, he must be in charge of the economy because that is where he is good at. I listened to him not once, not twice, and not 3 times. He knows his onions. And I think that his approach will bring solutions to this country. Economic solution, he is worthy of praise. But the political solution, which is the basis on which the economic solution will survive, it is what is causing the problem. Getting your thoughts clear, sir. You are saying that Igbo, the Southeasterners, and Igbo generally from whatever, that's Rivers, Delta State, and whatsoever, as long as there is IPOB problem, cannot be president of Nigeria? They asked him. And this was his response. He said, no. I'm not saying that. It may be there, but if it's contained to imaginable proportion, we have 5 states in the southeast. Now, in every single state, IPOB have more control. It is just as you say in Sokoto or Zamfara, Katsina, and a bit of Kaduna. In every of the 5 states of the southeast, who calls the shots? And once you have an active secessionist tendency in any part of Nigeria, you cannot afford to now allow a leeway for these people to succeed in secession. Nobody is saying you cannot. If you follow this constitutional way of dissolution of the country, nobody can fight you because it is there in the constitution. Follow the constitution down to down to a referendum. Fine. Whoops, you've heard what he said. He said quite a lot, but we're just looking at this very critically. Well, he said quite a lot, and the fact that they all acknowledge that Peter Obi, he knows his onions, is sound, and even if eventually they get to win, they'll still inculcate Peter Obi in their program. But he said something very unique. He explained himself properly, but he said in as much as IPOB is in the picture, and he said the rascal called Kanu, my God. He said the rascal called Kanu is still in the picture. That how can he give Monday sit at home and they obey it? Let me correct this impression. I don't know why they keep making this mistake. The person who called for sit at home is Simon Ekpa. The sit at home was originated at the beginning by IPOB when Master Nnamdi Kanu was in detention, or still is in detention anyway. Started his detention in DSS. So they made that Monday sit at home as solidarity. That's a solidarity anytime it's called out for in Abuja court during his court hearing. That's simply why they started this sit at home anytime it's having a court case. But unfortunately, at some point, it was hijacked and it became a normal way of life and all that. But it was not even Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that called for sit at home Monday. Well, that's what we're going to wrap it up. What's your take? Let's meet in that conversation.